Well, welcome back. We are in late spring of year 4 of Farthest Frontier. Looks like we have a bit of a spring thunderstorm going on. Perfect time to pause the game because, as you know, as the game progresses, that's time, and there are some things that I just want to take a look at and get set up. We're at that point now where we are moving along nicely. We've got a good foundation going, but there's always that opportunity to kind of just take a bit of a break and take a look and see where we are. Um, I always like to just go back through my buildings, make sure that I have everything that I need. I've got my market, which we completed last episode. Housing, we've got 12 shelters. Storage, I have one root cellar, one storehouse, and one stockyard. So it's always good to go through here. It would be nice to have another root cellar. It kind of This is a great way of, okay, where am I? What's going on? Food production, two smokehouses, zero crop fields because they haven't been built. That's one of the things we need to focus on. Two fishing shacks, three foragers, two hunter cabins, and these have all been placed. Cobbler, tannery, saw pit, firewood splitter, two of them, two wells, Fletcher building, basket shop, compost. So we've got a really good foundation set. What I want to do in this episode, I want to really focus because they are bringing in the food, they're bringing in resources. We want to now. I see here that we don't have a lot of stone, so let's do this. And I saw there's some stone right next to. Okay, it's already been highlighted, so they're going to get that. Let's highlight an area really close to there. Okay, so they're going to work on that. And then let's really focus in on on the farm. I want to prioritize. So one of the things that I want to do, let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get started. I want to focus my efforts on the farm. And then we want to get an upgrade. There are some things that I want to do for this colony that I cannot do until we upgrade our town center. In order to upgrade the town center, I need 8 shelters. Well, we've got 12. I need to have a market. We've got that. I need at least 30 people living here. We've got 46. So now we need planks. We need 50 wood planks. We've got 30. And we need 30 stone, which is, we'll get that. We just need to put our efforts into that. The reason why I want to upgrade the town center is there are several things that I want to get put into place. When we come down here, let's look at, I believe it's a resource. I really need a soap shop. Soap is going to help us as far as keeping down disease. That's going to be important. So I need that. And in order to get that, I need to get to tier 2 of my town center. Services. I need a school. A school is going to educate my individuals, and when they're educated, it's going to boost their work rate. So it's going to make them more productive. I need that. In order to build a school, I'm going to need Let's go back down to resources, and I'm going to need a clay pit because a school is going to require clay. So we're kind of focusing in on a few things: farm, town center, and then the town center is going to allow us to focus in on clay, school, soap. So these next couple of episodes, years, that's what we're working on. But really, while we're waiting for our planks, we've got to get these farms going, and then I want to go through, and I may do this in an edit. If it's going to take a while to get the farms where they need to be, we may skip ahead and get working on the farms, because that's my big goal now, is farming. Wonderful. Crops ready for assignment. Let's pause because I don't want to lose time, but I want to explain what it is that I need to do. So this field, now they're going to work on this one and get this ready, but we can get started here. So this field is now ready, but just because it's been cleared does not mean that it is perfect for growing crops. So I have three things that I need to focus on: the fertility, the level of weeds, and the level of rockiness. It's 69% fertile, so we need more fertility. We got to get the weeds down. The weeds are quite high, and it's more than half rocky. So when you are planting crops, in order to get the best yield out of them, you want to make sure that your field is in its best possible condition in order to support that. So up here, you got their rotation because you want to rotate. You don't want to keep planting the same one particular crop over and over and over again. So let's click on crops. Let's click to add crops. When you look over here at the different crops, you will see the impact that it has on fertility. So for example, rye has a negative impact on fertility. What I want to do, and you can also see where you can actually have a farmer to perform maintenance on a growing crop. Pea has an incredibly high positive impact on the field, and it's a crop that we can actually harvest. So while we're getting this particular field ready to be used, we can still get a yield of a food item. So let's do pea. Then the other thing that I want to put down is, let's go with clover, and you see how positive it impacts the fertility. And then the third thing I want to do is maintenance. So this first rotation is going to be mostly about getting it up to a fertile level and maintaining it. But we will still, now we're well into this particular year, so we're not going to get anything here. But the next time this rotation comes around, that's what we're going to do. For the second rotation, which is the one that's about to happen, I want to basically do the same thing. Pea, clover, and then let's maintain it. For my third, I already know from experience we're going to run into the need for some clothing. So let's do flax. It's going to have a bit of a negative, but I do need to get some flax going. And then let's do clover. And then you see I can't do anything because we run out of time. But we're going to have a couple of cycles of working on the fertility. We're going to get a bit of a flax crop, and then I'm going to get rid of that, and then we're going to get back into just a pea clover maintenance routine. But we'll see. We may get some traders in. We may have a trade center set up where we can get some items or we can purchase some clothing. But I want to at least get this potentially set up in the event that we need it. So that's where we stand with our crop here. Let's get going. I'm going to do the same thing for this second. Now that I have a bit of an outline laid out, let's get a gate. Where do I want to put my gate? I want to put it on the road. I also want to extend this fence. I don't want animals coming. While we were waiting for the crop, I did extend out the road and I put down 2 more shelters. So we had 12. We now have 14 shelters. This fence is going to be helpful because the animals will come and eat up our crop, and we don't want that. It doesn't seem like they eat the entire crop, but we want to maximize as much as possible. Let's see here. Trees. We've got lots of stone. We've built back up on stone. I'm looking to see if there's any other areas of stone. I'm going to highlight this area, and there may be some stone here, but let's highlight all of this. Oh, I think I see some stone here. Let's do that. Perfect. And close to the edge, let's put an exploration point there and there, because we're right on the edge here, because we may be able to extend our farm area out there. Yeah, look, there's plenty of stone here. You see how it's lighting up as our person is going to explore? It kind of looks like we're going uphill a bit though. Who's exploring? See him there? Yeah, that looks like an uphill. Let's set an exploration point out there as well. We are well into winter. We have a really nice supply of food stored up. We have logs. We have firewood. We have planks. We have stone. So as soon as spring arrives, we can get started on completing our second farm. We can also finish up the fence around the farm. A new year, 2 new villagers are born, and we are now working our way into year 5. So now that we've made it through winter, we can get right back into finishing up this field. Excellent. Crop ready for assignment, our second one. So I'm going to pause. Villager's been cured. We had another person come down with an illness. All right. So for this one, this is purely going to be about fertilization, getting down the weeds. So our first one, we had flax. This is going to be solely about pea, clover, maintenance. Second rotation, pea, clover, maintenance. Third rotation, pea, clover, maintenance. And we may do that for several cycles. I want to get the fertile, because as you can see, the weed level. Now this is not as rocky as that first crop area, but it's very bad as far as weeds are concerned. But excellent. Let's get that going. I want to put down a few more shelters. Let's keep them close to the market. Let's extend our road. There. All right, look at this. We've got our farm. It is surrounded by a fence. We've got gates. Try to keep out some of these wild animals. And we are in year 5. And when we return for our next episode, we're going to upgrade and then we're going to get started with some other things. We've got to work on clay. We got to build up enough clay so we can start a school. We got to make soap. And at some point, I don't know if it's going to happen in year 5 or year 6, the flax. We've got to make more clothing items. We need a town center. So we're kind of we're evolving nicely, but there's plenty to do. So I will see you next time. I appreciate you hanging out. But we'll see you for the remainder of year 5 in Farthest Frontier.